Hello and welcome to the Drupal Core Cross Initiatives meeting, the October 17th, 2019 edition. We've got Cristina and Andre with us today. Small crowd, maybe some more people. Oh, speaking of people joining, hey Angie. We're just going to cover the basics today. I think everybody's really focused on the 8.8, so I'd really like to keep this meeting short and sweet. I thought we would start with you, Cristina. Is that okay?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So probably I'm going to talk about more than UX. I'm going to talk about the admin UI initiative, the new CLARO theme that just made it into core as an experimental.
Congrats.
Yeah, and so right now what we're working is on planning DrupalCon sprints, trying to see what issues can be actually worked on. We're also planning the next design goals or steps, and yeah, I think this is, yeah, it's mainly for CLARO. So that's, I think, mainly it. Yeah, it's just like right now a lot of issues going on and trying to reach the stable goals for the next release. So
okay, that was my question. When you meant design goals, you meant for stable.
Yeah, stable. Yeah, both on a design side and on a development side. So it's more. Okay.
I assume at some point you're going to want review from framework management and product management on that.
You mean, so the roadmap, I'm not really sure if the stable one has had the okay from everybody. I'm not sure about that. I should check.
I think so, actually. Lauri, I think you joined the call. Do you have a stable roadmap agreement for framework and product management for the admin?
So I think there's some level of alignment because that's required for the beta stability. Like the roadmap has to be defined to become beta. So there's going to be a triage prior to stable to make sure that everything is actually in there, that is supposed to be in there. But I don't think it's in the steps that we should be taking right now to work with them to refine the roadmap. So we should continue refining the roadmap within the initiative team from now on. But then once we get closer to the stable, that's when we have to start opening more dialogue with the other stakeholders.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, let me be one of the first to say on this call, anyway, congratulations on all the hard work. I know this was really a Herculean effort for everybody to figure out and pull together. So huge congrats. I know a lot of people on Aqua's team was very focused on it, and you've all put in a lot of time and energy. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good work, CLARO.
Andrew says, yay, CLARO team. Okay, is there anything else, or are we moving on to the next one? I think, Andre, you are next in line.
Okay, so the workflow initiative team managed to get almost everything done for 8.8. There's just, I mean, we did all the path alias conversion and all the things that I can't remember right now. There's still one issue left, the one about adding sub workspace capability. And Angie was involved in that. She reviewed it together with Dixon. They found some problems and proposed a solution. There's a new patch there, so I think it can still make it for 8.8 because the workspaces module is still experimental as of now. I mean, in head. So changes should be allowed in alpha. I mean, a change like this. And that would conclude our roadmap for 8.8, which means I think I have to open the issue to mark it as stable and start pinging all the stakeholders.
Andre, is that really the last thing before, like, is there an issue for marking the module stable?
Yeah, that's what I said that I have to do right now.
Okay, yeah, because I think that is definitely not something the core committers had on their radar, is that they would have to do like a full product framework release manager review of that module yet this release. So
it was done by Nat, actually.
well, okay.
So
All right,
the
so that
framework
would
and
cover
the
framework
release
and-
management part.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Anything. Yeah. I say get that issue filed as soon as possible, because, like, as Adam can attest, who's on this call, a lot of things can happen in that final review that hold up things getting marked stable. So the sooner you have record of that, the better.
Yeah.
Because media has been at the finish line for about 2 months now, and just just finding things that need
That's adorable.
well,
Oh, geez. Can of worms.
Yeah, can of worms.
Just got
So, yeah,
opened.
get that in there. I am aware of the sub path issue, or sub workspace issue. I see that was just updated 2 hours ago, so I haven't read that yet because I was sleeping. But yeah, I would say the sooner you get that issue together, the better. And you can maybe copy and paste the format of the media library issue.
That's exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yep.
I love copy pasting stuff.
Yeah. Thanks. You do.
Also said all devs everywhere.
Yes.
I'm actually literally the only dev I know where I really don't like copying and pasting stuff, because when you do that, you inherit all the errors.
True.
Like, read existing stuff and then filter out the errors as you rewrite it. But then again, I just really like rewriting things, so that's just me.
Yeah, same for me.
You guys are hilarious. Sorry, I joined a little late.
I think you're a geek is all it is.
Christine, is there anything your initiative needs between 8, the alpha and the beta, that we should be looking at, or are you guys done?
I have no idea. I don't think we need anything.
I mean, you
else.
got marked beta, which is what you were hoping to do, and it's in 8.8. So I'm assuming you guys are done, unless some bug comes up or something that we want to fix.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But no specific issues that are borderline, like, really should have made it in before Friday, but if it could get in the next 2 weeks, that'd be great. I think you guys do not have that, correct?
I think it's already done, right, Lauri? The last one was today or yesterday.
Yeah, the Views UI issue was the one.
Right, that had to have been solved before beta, so I think everything.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that is borderline. Like, for example, so there's one that is about drop buttons, which we've started working on already, but it's not even close to as critical as the Views UI issue.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think there's anything right now that would need immediate attention from committers.
Great. Yeah, just as we're going through these status updates, I'd really like to call out any of those things. So just so everyone knows, code freeze for alpha was on Friday of last week. The alpha is hopefully going to be cut today. It might go as late as tomorrow. I'm not sure. We have basically the whole week to do it. So the official record is that anything that didn't get in before Friday is not in 8.8, period. However, there is some flexibility for very, very, very important things that multiple committers say, yeah, this is a good idea. Only within the next 2 weeks though, because once beta is cut, that's it. That's all, 8.8 is a thing. So if there are any issues that meet that criteria, so this would be things that are feature-y or things that are API changey, we need to know those ASAP so we can get them on kind of a tracker that the core committers are using, and then we can try and stay aware of them, basically. So if you have anything like that, let me know. And thanks, Andre. Sorry, I'll stop interrupting the call now.
No, this is good stuff. It's important that the team is aware of any exceptions and who to contact if you have an exception.
Yeah, on
Beta
my part,
is-
that was it. I have to open that issue, and yeah, I think we're pretty close
Angie, I
to
think
done.
beta is November 4th, right? If I remember right.
Sorry, wait, the final code freeze? No, it'd be November 1st, I think. Right after DrupalCon. Because the beta is the week of the 4th.
Yeah, that's what I just meant, that date, but I'll put the code freeze in date, the code freeze date in as well. Perfect. This is a key date for people to know. That's really helpful. Thanks, Angie.
No problem.
Yay. I'm gonna put it in bold, red, italic, underlined. Okay, so that covers UX, admin, UI, and workflow. Adam, would you like to go next for media?
Sure. Media, the path of getting media library stable reminds me of nothing so much as Super Mario Brothers, where like you're kind of going along and you're crushing turtles and kicking angry mushrooms off your like little platform, and you know, and then at the end you're about to go into the castle. It's like, can't be that easy, and of course it's fucking not. Something shows up. So that kind of happened to us last Friday. Lauri found a thing that if we had been able to get proper front-end framework manager review earlier, and we weren't due to, I think, CLARO stuff and just a lot of other priorities competing, we found that. So me and Lauri have been working to fix that. The patch is very large, but currently in a really good state, where I think that kind of all the overall concern is addressed, which is mostly that the media library was putting presentational things in the module code where it does not belong. So that is mostly addressed. Lauri has promised to do a detailed code review of that. And I have also walked through it with Alex Bronstein, who I think is probably going to be the one to commit the patch or the set of patches that it may turn into. So I'm just we're pushing on that one. Everybody is aware that it is a stable blocker. Other than that, the module has pretty much ticked all the release manager boxes, with the exception of this one thing. So once this is resolved, which I expect to happen sometime next week, and that's obviously the last week it could happen, once that's resolved, I think we will be able to mark media library stable. But that's the hope. No promises, but yeah, that's where we are. We're done with media library except for this one major problem, which we have a mostly completed patch for. And yeah, it's been signed. Media library has received sign off from framework and product managers so far, and basically release manager as well. It's really front-end framework management sign off that it still needs. And that's it.
Okay, and do you have an issue number for me?
For the roadmap or for the blocker?
For the blocker. I could get it off your roadmap.
I can give you the issue number. It is it's 3087456.
Hold on. Let's grab the wrong thing. Of course, the Zoom menu is in the way. Okay. 3087456, you said?
Correct.
Oh. It's funny. The 456 at the end. Okay, so you need to, that's a blocker right now for stable.
Yes. The only remaining stable blocker I'm aware of.
Okay. And
so basically, yeah, cross your fingers for us.
Crossing them. All right, so complete the work on that issue, get front-end framework sign-off. Is that you, Lauri, or is that somebody else?
Lauri is front-end framework manager, so
yeah,
I would
that's
assume
me.
it's him.
Okay, just checking. And then commit to 8.8. Do we have a committer like standing by, ready to look at that?
I think the one who is gearing up to commit the stable maker is Jess. She is the person who has completed release manager review of it, and she is acting as the release manager for this initiative.
Sweet. Awesome. Okay, Is there anything else that you need from framework or product or committers? Sounds like you have it covered.
I just need Lauri and Alex Bronstein to keep helping me, which they have been doing an excellent job of. So no worries.
Cool. Do you guys want to jump off of this call and go work on that, since I know you're on the clock?
Nothing to do it for me at the moment. I'm just waiting on a code review from Lauri.
Okay.
But if he wants to jump off and do that, I'm totally down.
I think he may have already. I don't see him on the call anymore.
He's on.
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh, you are? That's funny.
Yeah.
Not showing up in the other thing. Never mind.
I will do a review on that still today.
Okay, Laura's like, all right, I'm going. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so that covers media. Who would like to go next?
I'd like to talk about auto updates. This is Lucas.
Awesome.
Hey there, Lucas.
Hey there.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say about this one. Okay,
I am actually too.
lay it on me.
We've got a link, a button that you can click, and it will go out and automatically update you if you're running 8.7. And it seems to work.
So it's a button that if you click it, it will automatically update you from 8.7 to 8.8?
It will update you to what is recommended by update.xml. So for those that know what update.xml is, I know about very little. It's a big XML that has a lot of recognitions, and it's how update module kind of comes up and nags you to death saying, hey, you're on an old version, please update to a more recent. And whatever that recent is, that update XML says, it'll update you to that. Since we don't have a version of 8.8 that we recommend yet, it wouldn't update you to that.
Okay, so it updates to the next recommended version.
Next recommended version.
Is that a correct?
The button
Sorry, you're
also
cutting
has
out just a little bit.
warning. Okay.
Is that right?
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
good.
Yes. Which is really, really cool. We got that, and then we realized something. We had to open up another issue that says our module, this contrib module, is using Composer, which is kind of not going to work real well, because to use it, you had to install it via Composer. And then if you tried to update from, say, 8.7.2 to 8.7.3, it would find that Composer JSON and Composer lock were modified, and it couldn't update you, because then it would do something bad and it would like overwrite and kind of uninstall the module. So what we've had to do, and this one hasn't landed yet, but we had to create like a 1 point something meg, 1.4 meg patch where we're including, yes, I get the, we have to include all of our external dependencies bundled with the contrib module, so that we can have it be basically a tarball install.
Okay, so if I'm reading this right, it sounds like you discovered that the dependency of installing via Composer poses a risk of overwriting modules or missing dependencies. Is that right?
It means it breaks.
Okay, I can write that.
I got an issue. Paste it into chat.
So installation via Composer currently breaks your next version upgrade.
It breaks the ability to update with automatic updates.
Okay, so you can update one time, but that you cannot update again. Is that correct? Okay.
Or if you're running a version where core, for security reasons, has modified Composer, then you would never be able to update at all.
Okay, I'm going to link to the issue so that we can get all the details there. Oops.
We do have a dependency on 3 core patches in our Drupal CI YAML, and I'm going to paste those. Those would be really nice to land. 2 of them are TPC. One of them is and needs review for several days.
I think you're cutting out a little bit, but I heard you say that you have 3 issues that need review and eventually commit if the review is positive, and you're going to paste them in the chat for me. Is that right?
Yes, 2 of them are already RTBC.
Ah, okay. Which ones? I see your chat. Just let me know the one ending in 400 or
The last 3.
last 3.
The one that is in review, the last one is the one that the 447 needs review.
Okay, and the other 2 need to be committed.
As I'm in the car and I can look at them, are they core issues and do they need to land in 8.8?
3 of them, excuse me, 3 of them
Yes.
are core issues. There's automatic, build test-based code, copy-based, overly aggressive in exclusions, add access rules for build tests, and build test-based stand-up server always starts new server. So basically these are all related to the new like update path test framework that just went in.
Exactly.
So we need, yeah. So I think they are applicable. These sound API-ish, so we probably want to get them done before beta. But I haven't investigated the actual patches or anything.
Angie, you can't have Drupal flu yet. It's in 10 days.
I know, right? I'm calling this 8 a.m. crud actually more than Drupal flu. But.
Makes sense. Okay,
Yeah,
so
she's not even going to DrupalCon, so.
Right. I'll probably still get Drupal flu anyway with my luck, but you know.
virtual flu. Okay, so we've got, if I'm going to summarize your update, Lucas, we've got a button that will automatically update you. This is really, really cool. But it breaks after the first time you use it. That's issue 3088095. Needs to be fixed. That's a blocker. And you have 3 issues that also need help. 2 of them needs commit. 1 of them needs review. Anything else?
They're soft blockers because I've put them in my Drupal my Drupal CI YAML. But anyone who goes and tries to use the build test framework in their contrib module stumble across these things and might hit their head against the wall for a very long time. So these are all. That's my update. It's really exciting though.
Yeah, this is something that's really important to Dries and to the community, so that is really great. Are you guys working on a demo for the Dries keynote?
Yeah, that's already done.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Already done.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much, Lucas, and congratulations on all that progress. And Adam, congratulations on your 2 years of hard work there. You're so close. You're at the finish line.
Don't congratulate me yet.
I will congratulate you on a job well done and a lot of hard work, and you can be very proud of everything you've done.
That is kind of you, but the goddamn thing isn't stable yet. Therefore, congratulations are premature.
I think you should pat yourself on the back for all that you've done. It might not be stable yet, but I feel like you're going to get there. Okay, who's next? Is that it? Is that everybody? We got Alex, but I don't think you're... Do you have any initiative updates for us, Alex Potts?
I could... Well, there's the CMI2 initiative. I could give a little update.
Sure.
I think since we last spoke, we got the ability to exclude modules from your exports into core. So that's, and as part of that, we landed the config transformation API, which is what the future work on having config vary by environment will work off, and all the many contrib config modules can use now. So config filter, config split can all base the way that they work off this new API. So that's pretty big news. So we actually have some progress, but we're obviously we obviously didn't make the progress we'd like on the config environment, and really the blocker there is time and just the complexity of trying to work out what all the different use cases are, because it's basically people want their site to be in as many configurations as possible and to move smoothly and reliably between them all, and that turns out quite tricky.
For which thing was that? You cut out for me for just a quick second. I heard we didn't quite make enough progress in the use cases for, and then I was like,
the config environment module.
Ah, thank you.
So that's still at alpha, so it won't be in the 8.8 release at all. And yeah, that's the update from CMI2.
Okay, what are your next steps then? Working on the config environment module?
Yeah, working on that, and going back to the roadmap and seeing what else needs to be done. There was a lot of stuff about documenting like best practices, and we haven't really made any progress on that either because no one stepped up to do the work, and I'm not sure how to solve that.
Okay. Any next steps that you need from committers, release management, framework management?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, thank you. Do you have a issue number for that config environment module?
Yeah, I'll go look for it.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else want to go next?
You can talk about Drupal 9.
I was going to say, hey, Gab, are you here? I was going to say I can talk about Migrate and or Drupal 9, but Gabor can talk about Drupal 9 better than I can.
You can both do it.
Yeah, we can make Mike talk about Drupal 9, sure. Probably knows more than me.
Oops. Yeah, whoever wants to start, go for it.
Well, the Drupal 9 branch now has one commit different from the Drupal 8.9 branch, which is bumping the PHP version up to 7.2. So that's exciting. And then the next thing is to get the vendor updates in there. So I need to re-roll the Symfony 4 patch one more time, but my plan is to push that this afternoon and see if we can't get that in the next 24 hours. Followed quickly by the Twig 2 patch. So those two together should get most of the vendor updates done.
Do you need any reviews on that?
I will, but there's so many eyes on this whole process that, that it will come very quickly as soon as there's a patch. I need to re-roll the Symfony 4 patch with the new PHP version and fix a couple of things for the Composer guys. So we will get that done as soon as I'm out of meetings this morning.
Yeah, for the Twig 2, I think we'll need some eyes because at least a couple hours ago when I posted that, it still had some outstanding questions in terms of how we actually implement the avoidance of the deprecation errors. Do we apply the new namespaces, or do we ignore the deprecation errors from Twig 2 to 3 because we're not updating to Twig 3? That needs some questions answered, I think, from framework managers and release managers. And if we want to get this done by DrupalCon, which we want to have an alpha 1 of Drupal 9 by DrupalCon, then we should have answers for that.
And I might have some opinions on that too, because looking at the thread in Slack from this morning, it kind of mirrors what we were doing with Symfony 4, where we've got some suppressed Symfony 4 deprecations that we just can't fix until we're on Symfony 4. So we'll commit the Symfony 4 patch with a few deprecations for Symfony 5 suppressed, and then we will fix those during the Drupal 9 cycle, whether we get it out before Drupal 9 comes out or if we do it in the 9.1 cycle because we don't want to add new deprecations or make big API changes in 9.0. We'll figure that out, but we'll...
Yeah, I think for Twig, they introduced a new class naming scheme that's much more similar to some PSR or something, and not these underscore things that they did before. So it's more standard now, but they still alias the new namespaces to the old ones. So now we need to choose if we still keep using the old one or apply the new one, and we need to weigh the disruption of that to our extensions, etc. So that's the Twig dilemma that we haven't really discussed yet. We need to discuss it now.
Okay, so you've got the new D9 branch with 7.2, yay. Vendor updates need to be re-rolled later today. That's planned. You'll need reviews. I put that in the next steps. And continuing discussions on tweak dependencies related to Symfony 4 and 5 versions. Are there any blockers in what you just described? It sounds like
those are the blockers.
Okay.
Because the next step after that is removing all the deprecations, and those patches are already starting to pile up in the RTBC queue. And Alex or Gabor, correct me if I'm wrong, but I get the feeling you guys we want the vendor updates to be done before we start committing the patches that remove the deprecated code. Is that correct?
Yep.
Sounds logical.
Yeah, I think the primary goal with for now is to have an alpha 1 that updates the main vendors, and then we can have something to test against the DrupalCon and roll off all of those removals. Yep.
Right. Because I know we have a few. I know Birdier got the entity manager removals green. The old migrate CCK plugin system, we've got a green patch for that now. So I mean, some of the bigger ones, I know they're starting to filter in, and I don't want to be re-rolling them forever too. So I'd like to start committing them. Well, I don't know. You guys tell me, I guess, but
I wouldn't worry about the CCK one since that's basically all deletes.
Well, then almost all are all deletes, but I don't want them getting too stale because they're big patches, you know.
Yeah, we'll need to be clever in how we organize the DrupalCon work there to roll patches that make sense and then get them committed and then still be able to work. Like we don't need to get into reroll hell at DrupalCon. That would be bad.
Reroll hell. That's funny.
Yeah.
Reroll.
Well, but
It's a very real place.
I wasn't part of the blockers for the alpha doing most of the deprecation removals, at least the big ones, if not every single bit of BC layer code that happens to fit in here, but at least like the big include files and other things, entity manager stuff that's deprecated.
Can you say that again? You cut out right at the end. I couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I thought on our list for requirements for the Alpha 1 was getting rid of most of the deprecations, or at least as many as we could, before, you know, reasonably to still try and get an Alpha 1 out before DrupalCon. Not every single, you know, BC layer code that happens to trigger an error, but at least the big, like Entity Manager and other include files or whatever, the other big ones, I thought we wanted to get out before we tag the Alpha. Is that still correct?
Drupal set message.
Yeah, those bigger ones.
It feels like
So
a test question.
So there's one blocker that alexpott found, or actually the test found, but alexpott tried to resolve it, is that Drupal 9 cannot be installed in a foreign language right now because the translations are not available. And the test found that though we fixed the test, but it's still not possible to install in a foreign language. So that's something that we'll need to figure out sooner or later. I don't know if we set it as a requirement for alpha. Nobody put it as a requirement for alpha. We may want to put it like that.
Well, as I understand, the act of tagging the alpha should fix the translations, right? Or at least
that's my assumption. But we need to also, we need somebody to spend time on figuring out if that's going to be true.
What I'm hearing from you guys is that we need clarity on the alpha requirements. And Angie, you're pasting stuff in here. What?
Sorry, there's a link there to an issue where the prerequisites for alpha 1 are. It says requirements for tagging 9.0.0 alpha 1. The issue number is 2608062.
Lovely. Hey, don't say sorry. That's super useful.
Did I say sorry? Oh, boy, I'm very Canadian today. But anyway, if you have suggestions about what those requirements ought to be, like including some of the major deprecations or, you know, like Catch 5 hours ago suggested that we should remove the update function, like the old update functions, blah, blah, blah. Basically, that's the place to go if you think we ought to add or remove some of the requirements for tagging the alpha.
You know, and I'd read that, and either it's changed or I misread it, because that was where I was seeing that we were going to not have all the deprecated code removed. But you know what? Maybe that's all just post alpha tag stuff anyway. So that's
Yeah, I
fine.
don't know. I think the general goal is to tag it as soon as possible, and definitely before DrupalCon, if at all possible, because we got this one window of a week where everybody, well, not everybody, but you know, the big chunk of the Drupal community, especially Drupal developer community, is going to be in one place. So,
well, I mean, it's a big rewrite of the Dries node one way or another. So we should...
yeah. Exactly.
Don't do that to us.
Yeah, we don't want to do that, but yeah.
All right. Well, so anyway, yeah. I mean, again, looking at that, it looks like deprecations are definitely an afterthought. If we do any removals of those before Alpha 1, so be it. But it looks like the big stuff is like I was saying, getting Symfony 4 in there, Twig 2, any remove, you know, just getting all the vendor dependencies sorted out and on the right versions. So that work is ongoing, and there's a lot of work on it. So it's going quickly.
Okay. Great. Anything else for you? Should we move on to Gabor? Gabor, I started writing your update already. Okay, let's move on to Gabor. So I know that you had some progress made on the multilingual migration path. So I've added the links for those issues. And I know you've been doing some good work. We've been doing some good work to plan a sprint for DrupalCon. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
That's also a topic with me and Mike. I guess Mike would fill you in with the rest of the migrate topics. Or Lucas.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much got it. It's the multilingual stuff that we're rushing through. So we've got a lot of good stuff passing tests, but we just need a lot more eyes on it, because it's just one of those things that the more people that try it, the more, you know, issues we can find and fix now, as opposed to having bugs. So.
Yeah, my understanding of the situation there is we have those until beta to fix, to raise the stability of the multilingual migrate module. So we have some time there.
Isn't the plan to remove the multilingual migrate module? Is that how we raise? Is that how we raise its stability?
Yeah. I guess yes.
Cool.
What are the remaining issues to get that in core? Because if we're removing a module, it seems like that definitely has to happen before beta. No.
There's a meta issue about that too. I don't have it in hand.
I'll grab it.
That's a good question, Angie.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're actually. I got to double check now. Here's the. Oops, sorry, I did that. Sorry, Alex, I sent that to you and not everyone. Let's try that again. There's the stabilized multilingual module issue.
Got it. Thanks.
Like wow, this is more issues in it than last time I looked. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers that are all must-have.
Let's see. Well, Vicky just updated this last night, so we're looking at it right now. Yeah, but they've all got patches, so they're all in progress.
And the new stuff has just been spun out of working on the no revision translation migration.
Right. Yep.
So that patch is large and complicated. I've been reviewing it now for like the last 2 days.
And it exposed a few bugs that's what those first 3 issues are. So those first 3 issues on that page are the blockers to the issues that you had been staring at, Angie, that you were expecting. So the new ones are just bug fix blockers for those other ones. So we just need RTBC and committed quickly, which is on our list.
And then I guess what it says is that hide and disable the Drupal multilingual module would be what comes after this. So I guess we're not removing the module in Drupal 8 anyway. So we still have some runway to, because I think hiding and disabling a module could probably happen after beta. I don't know, actually.
If it's not removing anything, well, disabling it might cause BC issues, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking if it doesn't get done before beta, it's probably an 8.9 thing. It would probably be something that we would allow.
Alex actually wrote some nice upgrade path tests in the issue where it's actually disabling it, so it seems to be working fine. But I think it should be done by beta. It would be we should be done by beta for people to be able to test it and be confident be confident in the release.
Yeah, I mean, basically at the point that it happens, the module will be essentially empty anyway. So it's not like there won't be so much BC concerns in removing it or disabling it because it's literally doing nothing at this point.
Is there a migrate sprint happening at DrupalCon to, like, if there's still some of these issues outstanding? That's like the last week we have to do things for 8.8.
That I don't know. I won't be there. I don't believe Vicky is going.
Okay.
She would be the only, and you know what? Actually, Amsterdam's probably as far away from her as it is from me. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I guess she's not even. I put us all into two groups, North America and not North America, but I don't think she's any closer. So. I don't believe any of the migrate maintainers will be there. So if there was one, then gosh, Gabber's going to have other things. You're in charge of it, Angie. Congratulations.
All right. I'm not actually going to Amsterdam, but I will run a code sprint on my couch with my cat. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I'm doing it with my dog, though.
It's been a challenge before to get migrate sprints in Europe for these reasons, even though we are behind with the multilingual migration path. So you would think that in Europe that would be easier to resolve, but the migrate part is not covered in Europe. The multilingual part is, but not the migrate part.
Yeah, you'd think the multilingual stuff would have stakeholders over there. But...
Okay. No, it's fine. I wasn't saying anything. I just thought if there was going to be one, we could promote it and get some multilingual people there. But if there's not going to be one, then we should not say anything. So that's all.
Cool. Can I ask a question? Do we have updates around the JS dependencies, or is that a part of the vendor dependencies that you were talking about previously? For D9. Because I know Lauri and others have been working on getting those resolved.
Yeah, I think that would be part of those. I think there's a bunch of stuff was deprecated today or yesterday.
Yeah.
In 8.8. So those could be now removed in 9.
Okay. And I also think it's worth pointing out in this call, because we didn't talk about it since the last time that we met, that there's going to be some forking going on, because there are things that we're not going to have time to fully deprecate. And we're going to have to maintain them through the life cycle of Drupal 9 into D10. And then they get removed in D10. I just want to make sure that I'm getting my facts straight. That's right, correct? Or did that happen in the meantime?
we copied a part of doctrine into core. So that's the one thing that I know that we've done that's like that. We didn't fork and maintain a whole separate library on GitHub. We just copied the bit that we needed.
Awesome. I think.
And the same would happen to parts of YAYYYY, but I don't know which part.
I was going to ask about that too.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say, for now, portions of Doctrine and YAYYYY have been forced into core due to that we couldn't get everything deprecated. What? Okay, I swear my computer's having problems. I'm typing faster than it can handle. All right, so I added that. Is there any other news around Drupal 9 that you think are worth capturing right now? Should we also maybe call out that we're trying to do a demo for the Dries keynote at the DrupalCon that's coming up to show how someone can...
Yeah, we are doing a step-by-step tutorial on how you will update to Drupal 9. And we also organize a sprint at DrupalCon, a contribution event for working on contrib and working on removing the deprecated APIs from core. And hopefully the tooling for checking deprecations of Twig and JavaScript and improve the tooling for PHP and all of these things, the documentation, so all the things basically.
Gabber, I'm grabbing your tweet so that I can place it in here. I really appreciate it if you guys could help promote this as much as possible. We're trying to get a high attendance at the event, both in person and remote. It'd be wonderful if you could help us to just really promote this blog post that Gabor did on that. Anything else, Gabor?
Nope. The only thing that I wanted to ask of everyone is if you have any important things that you think we should have meetings about at DrupalCon, then we need to take that on and find stakeholders and organize them. If you think that there's stuff that we could accelerate if there's an in-person meeting, or half in-person, half virtual, or at least some of the people are in-person in Amsterdam, then we can organize that. If you need meetings where only 1 or 2 people are in Amsterdam, probably not that useful, so we can organize them later. But if anybody needs meetings about stuff, who doesn't like meetings, then we have to
I love
put it on the
meetings.
list.
It's my favorite, as Angie can attest from yesterday.
What?
I kept her on the phone for like 2 hours yesterday. Okay. I'm going to add, Gabor, your last comment just up to the top. I have kind of general notes going. If you're attending DrupalCon Amsterdam and you need to meet with 1 or more committers, release managers, initiative owners, if you have a topic that requires information from multiple people within those categories, please tell us, because we are trying to help facilitate and coordinate that at this time. Gives us a couple weeks to get everybody's schedule kind of in line and block out some spaces when those discussions can happen. Otherwise, I wouldn't count on it happening. If you just have a couple of people, no big deal, figure it out. But if you have multiple people, this is a good time and place to try and coordinate that. All right. Anything else around Drupal 9?
Nope.
Okay, did we cover all of the topics that you guys have? Anyone not get to cover their initiative topic?
Excuse me. Excuse me. Thanks, everybody. I've passed along all the issues that came up as part of this call. So crossing all of our collective fingers that, you know, we get them in. Great work on everything that's been done so far. And some of you will see some of you at DrupalCon. So
Hey, all right. This is an exciting time. A lot of awesome work done. Okay, have a great end of your week, everybody.
bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Everybody, take care.